seconds to go. Rozier going to take a shot, and it is caught. Touchdown, Miami! Darrell Langham with the grab. Canes in front.
Just lean back and let it go.
For the win. The Hurricanes take the lead. Another magic miracle by Miami.
ESPN College Football presented by PlayStation View. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. 10 days away from the first college football playoff rankings being released. Back-to-back last-second miracle wins for Miami has the U right in that conversation. Last week, Clemson's playoff hopes took a hit because of Syracuse. These two teams now meet this afternoon. Hi again, everyone. I'm Bob Wischusen here with Brock Ewart. Allison Williams will join us in just a moment. For the better part of 30 years, this time of season was an annual rite of fall. The U was in the national championship conversation. They're right on the cusp of being in that conversation again. Should they be?
Should they be at 5-0 in this season of college football? Yeah, they should be. Are they what they used to be? Is they're celebrating the 1987 team and loaded with NFL guys galore? They're not that anymore. And that's not just my opinion. That's the head coach this week, Mark Richt, asked about this squad and where they sit. He said, we're not a dominant team. We can't impose our will on people yet, but they believe. And you know what? When you look at the rest of the schedule this year, Bob, with just 2 ranked teams left on that schedule and both coming to South Florida, yeah, I think there is a reason for them to believe.
Now, the schedule on the football field might be favorable, but Allison, the schedule off the football field for UM has been anything but.
Yeah, Bob, crazy, hectic, wild. That's how the players I talked to describe this 2017 season. Between the disruptions caused by Hurricane Irma and the crazy finishes to games, nothing has really gone as scripted. But the players I talked to say everything they've gone through has brought them closer, especially the 5 days in Orlando that they spent practicing. There was no class. It was just the team and football. And Mark Richt said that built even more unity on an already close team. Consider this, guys. This is week 8, and it's the first time since the opener they're playing a Saturday game as originally scheduled with a full week of prep at home.
Dino Babers had plenty of success in Eastern Illinois and Bowling Green. That led him to Syracuse. Missed an opportunity to go to a bowl game last year, but a win over Clemson last Friday night. Brock has folks, Syracuse, believing that this program might be on its way back.
And that was no fluke a week ago. I mean, they beat them. They beat them up front, the line of scrimmage. They wore them down. They made the big plays. And they've got to match that emotion now down on the road in a hot, humid environment in South Florida.
Miami won the toss and deferred their option to the second half, so they'll start the third quarter with the football, which means Syracuse starts on offense, and they start with 2 wide receivers that might be the most lethal combination in the country.
Number 1 and 3 when it comes to overall receptions, and they're different. Ishmael outside is a big receiver. They're going to throw 5 go routes to him. He may push off on 3 of them. He may get held on 2 of them, and a few of them may be touchdowns. Just ask Clemson from a week ago. And then the inside there, Phillips, is a nightmare to deal with. And they move him around. He'll be in the backfield. He'll be in a wing alignment. They feel like they've got a matchup advantage, and I feel like they do as well with that nickel position at Miami against one of the best slot guys in college football in Phillips.
2 great security blankets for a dynamic quarterback. That's going to run the football to start. Eric Dungey, and he gets buried by Kendrick Norton to start a 3-yard loss, first play of the game.
That's a big boy in the middle that was a monster a week ago against Georgia Tech. And this offense is all about the quarterback. In Dino's system, you've got to be electric. 3rd in the country when it comes to total yardage. He loves to run it. He's a much better passer this season.
Second down, there goes Strickland. Dante Strickland with a first down and more. All the way out near midfield, picks up 24 yards.
And they caught the Canes in a little bit of a line stunt there, trying to twist their defensive tackles. You get out of alignment, you get gashed up the middle. Miami loves to show different looks defensively every single play, whether that is a little line stunt or an alignment or a coverage. Tough to do against a tempo team.
Dungey to throw for the first time, trying to extend the play, and barely gets it. Out of bounds near Ishmael. Shaq Quarterman tracked him down. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
That guy goes one direction. He is a 3-4 NFL middle linebacker, man, for the Steelers one day, where he is just nose to the ball, loves to attack, has started 18 consecutive games. He is the alpha right in the middle of that defense.
Dungey under center with a hard count. And now the look over. Four-man rush. And he's chased again. And has to dump it off again. Again, it's Shaq Quarterman trying to run him down. 3rd down and 10.
Pretty good coverage there. You know, Dungey, the one thing I'd like to see him continue to evolve is get to the 2nd and 3rd receiver. This is right to his nickel back there on a little option. Phillips, it was covered, but right behind him was a 15-yard in that eventually Dungey's going to stick in there and find. Looking to flush a move against a good D-line early.
Screen tipped at the line, and it's intercepted. Demetrius Jackson had the ball and then lost it. It might have been taken back by Syracuse. It is Syracuse football, and that will most likely be a Syracuse 1st down if Demetrius Jackson was ruled to have possessed the ball.
And what a play by Dungey here. This just speaks volumes for why his team and his teammates love him. There's some discussion here on the field with the pinstripes. The ball gets batted in the air, and you're going to see Dungey come in here and just rip it away from him.
What a play.
Still an interception on his ledger, which stinks as a QB, but you get the ball back in 1st down, and that just shows and to me typifies, I think, some of the guts and guile of this kid. We're going to look and document that jersey that's already mud, and it's going to continue to get muddy. His arms are going to get scratched up and bloodied and bruised because he is this offense. They go as he goes, and that time a heads-up play to rip away the football. I don't think I've ever seen that in 10 years of doing this.
That goes down as a possession change. So this is technically now Syracuse's 2nd offensive possession of the game at their own 38-yard line with a 1st down. Hand off to Strickland. Met and driven back. Sheldrick Redwine was there to bring him down. No gain on 1st down.
I think Demetrius Jackson, that D-end's like, what just happened? I just tipped a ball, made a great play. Who is number 2? And why did he just come rip this thing out of my hands? But that's a 6'4", 225-pound quarterback that has matured as a player at that position and certainly physically as well.
His only major offer out of high school, Syracuse. Now he's going to try a slant, and that one is dropped by Irvin Phillips.
As Eric Dungey put on over 20 pounds in the offseason, he said he feels stronger. He feels like he can absorb hits a little bit. And his exact words were, I feel like maybe the defenders feel me. Yeah, I think that's the case right now.
He's feeling some crowd noise here, and look at the line change. That looks like a hockey line change. Miami wholesale movement there in their front 7. Fresh rushers.
3rd down and 10.
Even early. Listen to this place.
Dungey, high throw, and that one's almost intercepted. It was intended for Devin Butler, who lost his footing, and Michael Jackson had it right in his hands.
And we're going to see this over the course of the day, and this field is going to get chewed up more and more, Bob. They put a lot of new sod in. It was torn up a week ago in the monsoon against Georgia Tech. It is thin, and I mean thin with some new sod. You're going to see players slip, and that's already 2 drops. One there from Phillips you very rarely see, and that was a drop pick from Jackson.
Well, let's see how Sterling Hofrichter, the punter, handles the bad footing. He'll kick it deep to Berrios. Rugby style kick, a line drive. Braxton Berrios with a quick fair catch call at the 25-yard line for Miami. Canes football when we return. Quite possibly the biggest upset of this college football season so far. Last Friday night, Eric Dungey, 3 touchdowns, 66 yards on this one to Irvin Phillips. 7 games so far this season for the Syracuse defense. They've knocked the opposing quarterback out 4 times, including Kelly Bryant going down. 6 plays of 20 yards or more. The Orange outgained Clemson 440 yards to 317, and they win it 27-24. They beat a reigning national champion for the 3rd time in school history, and now looking for the first time for back-to-back wins against top 10 teams. But now they have to stop Travis Homer, Malik Rozier, and the Miami offense beginning at their own 25-yard line. Here's Homer on 1st down, breaking tackles, and what a job he has done taking over for the injured Mark Walton, the leading rusher for Miami, out for the season. And all Travis Homer did last week was gain 170 yards in what turned out to be a miracle win over Georgia Tech.
Physical kid, and all those old Miami backs are going to be watching this thing today. You're going to like his physicality.
There he goes again, easily picking up a first down. That has to be a security blanket for the quarterback to start off with 2 quick carries for Travis Homer.
Maybe those guys up front took it personal from Mark Richt that we can't impose our will on anybody. This kid loves to impose his physical might, and 8 special teams tackles, fumble recovery. He loves covering kicks. They took him off of those teams, but that's in his nature.
First throw for Rozier, and it's a strike. Amon Richards back in the lineup after being out off and on with a hamstring injury. He missed last week's game, but he's out there today, and he picks up a first down.
Pretty easy pitch and catch. As a QB, you love a little inside run, moving the sticks twice, and then that's an inside slant, your game changer. And it's nice for Rozier to have Richards back. You see that unblemished is a starter. He's a winner. That's what he is. He's not overwhelming in any one physical trait, arm, speed, size. But he's been at his best when the games have mattered the most the last 2 weeks.
Rozier for a gain of 3, maybe 4, maybe more to Christopher Herndon. Fights his way for about 4.5 yards. And talking to Mark Richt yesterday, he told us, I can't tell you how many times I told myself I will never play this kid. And he told him that last year. He told Malik Rozier, I will never play you unless you do A, B, and C. Clean up your mechanics, make smarter decisions. He was part of a 4-way quarterback competition, and to his credit, this is what Mark Richt said, he knocked it out of the park and won the job and made a believer out of his head coach. And he's got a first down hook up again to Herndon. 12 more.
Bob, I asked Rozier about what Mark Richt told him, and he said it was tough to hear, but he really had to change and relearn the philosophy that Mark Richt wanted. It was so different than the previous coaching staff. He said, I had to realize that instead of taking a shot or throwing a jump ball, I had to learn to just check it down and take the easy play.
Easy play here to Travis Homer. Now, Brock, your favorite saying seems to be the crumbs lead to the cookie.
Yep.
And that is just taking the easy crumbs. That was the game-winning drive last week for Miami in the closing moments against Georgia Tech. One little screen after another, and all of a sudden a miracle catch. They're down at field goal range.
And you could just watch his feet. You want to watch the evolution of a quarterback. And I think Dungey on the other side, too, is just watch their mechanics and their footwork and the timing of it. 3 precision passes, none of them very difficult, but all of them on time and all of them fundamentally sound.
Syracuse brings 5. Rozier, quarterback run. Inside the 15-yard line. That's another UM first down.
Yeah, this is textbook Mark Richt coming out now, scripting this beautifully. There's not a lot of gimmicks. They don't run a whole lot of formations and shifts and motions. What they do and what he believes in, the old school Mark Richt that's been around so long and won so many games, is it's about us. It's not about that opponent. We do and we execute what we have at a high level. This is as good an opening drive as they've had this season.
Swing pass to Christopher Herndon. The tight end rumbles inside the 10. They mark him out at the 6. That's a gain of 8 on first down.
And one thing I love about the Hurricanes is the unique skill set with their positional guys outside on the perimeter. Wonderful blocking by Berrios right here. Those bubble screens are great on paper, but it takes everybody to go and execute them. That's unique skill sets.
Homer up the middle. And he was able to carry all 240 pounds of Brandon Berry inside the 5 to the 3. It is first and goal for the Canes.
And Langham's a big receiver, and Berrios is your just prototypical slot guy. And now you got to hammer inside, running between the tackles. Makes it very difficult for a defense to get into rhythm on their side.
Zone read. Up the middle goes Homer. Syracuse drives him back once he gets inside the 2. Paris Bennett led the charge. It'll be second down and goal. They'll mark the ball just outside the 1, looks like. Homer again. Can't move the pile. It'll be 3rd down and goal at the 1. 3 sophomore linebackers that all played together as freshmen last year for Miami, balanced off by the experience at linebacker for this Syracuse team. They've got 3 seniors that anchor their defense. 12th play of the drive.
Better cover the tight end here.
Rozier to throw. There's the slant. It is caught. Amon Richards had it, and now they say incomplete. He couldn't hold on. Christopher Frederick got a hand in, and now it's 4th down and goal at the 1-yard line. And here comes the field goal group.
Yeah, there's no doubt. This is a good job here by Frederick. That big tight end cleared the space out. That's why you put that tight end there, the entire middle of the field for Richards to find the hookup. He gets inside the defensive back, but credit Frederick there for not quitting. Kind of like the quarterback on the other side, right? Don't quit on the play.
How about the decision to start the game with 3, or would you be going for it if you were Mark Richt?
After I tried to run it twice from the 2-yard line and got nothing, I'm sorry, offensive line. You forced me into this decision.
Michael Badgley. It's a chip shot. 18 yards away, and it gets the Canes on the board. But that's a great stand at the goal line for Syracuse. Playing football and getting a big win and being on that guy's team looks like a lot of fun.
Not bad.
Bob Wischusen and Brock Ewert, Allison Williams. It's a 3-0 lead for Miami, but a win down inside the 5-yard line for that Syracuse defense.
You made a good point. That win was on a Friday night, and I think that helps these guys regroup. All day Saturday to watch people and celebrate a little bit, and have a normal work week, get back to the business at hand, and that's trying to take care of a Miami team.
Well, that is as unpredictable a result as you'll have today, at least in terms of the final score. Not necessarily who won, but I don't think anybody expected 23 total points to be scored between Oklahoma State and Texas as Mo Neal picks up 4 on 1st down. He gets another try and gets about 2 more.
And you'll see Syracuse do this. That last possession, you know, a lot of 4 wide, getting that shotgun, a lot of empty stuff. And they'll vary possession by possession. First 2 snaps there, the big fellas, 2 tight end package coming in and out.
Big 3rd down here for Syracuse.
Miami again getting the fresh bodies on the field defensively.
Dungey with a pump fake. Low throw, scooped up by Ishmael. And that's a big catch for Syracuse to keep the drive alive.
Finally getting to number 2 there. He was once again in that slot looking for Phillips, which is his go-to guy on 3rd down. Quick reset, get to number 2 in the progression. A wide open Ishmael there with a nice catch.
Quarterback run for Eric Dungey. And this is a very important possession. This is a drive that almost has to result in points.
It's a drive that they got to start possessing the ball if they want to get to their play count, which is about 75 and above. Where Dino Babers feels like it's advantage orange as it was a week ago against Clemson, then you have to possess the ball. You have to get these plays in the first 15 minutes of a game, and you can see the target. They're missing the pace right now.
Dungey, wobbly throw to the sideline, and it's an easy interception for Michael Jackson. Not sure what Eric Dungey thought he saw, but it looked like that pass was almost intended for Jackson. Turnover chain around the neck of Michael Jackson. His 2nd interception this season.
That was a predetermined throw. That was a wheel route out of that trips concept, and he's trying to get his go-to guy, Phillips, involved. And that's a junior quarterback that right now has just got to read the field. That right now is just playing too fast. At this moment right now against this Miami team, the number 8 ranked in America, things are flying around Eric Dungey right now, and you're seeing some uncharacteristic decisions out of the junior.
Rozier, swing pass, dropped by Homer. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Get into that trip set to the field here, and this is a shot play. Right, and that is a wheel route, but you're throwing right into zone coverage. Not only the underneath coverage over the top, but Jackson sees it in front of him the entire way.
Defensive coordinator Manny Diaz wanted a way to reward his players for coming up with takeaways, and he needed it to represent Miami. What better than a Cuban link chain with the U charm? It's 2.5 kilos, made by AJ Machado, a famed jeweler here in South Florida, and as you can see, the guys absolutely love it.
Rozier slips one through. Travis Homer almost got loose past the 40-yard line. A gain of 24 brought down by Paris Bennett.
Man, is he ever strong. Pushing that pile, and that's one of the more physically gifted kids from Syracuse. Bennett is a senior linebacker, and he is right on top, and that is a powerful kid in Homer.
High throw again through the hands of Ahmad Richards. Dropped one on the last drive.
He's really dropped three. I mean, the touchdown there on that little slant was a contested one. You're talking about the guy that shattered Michael Irvin's records a year ago. Now, he's been banged up with a hamstring. He's been on and off the practice field. He's trying to get himself into that football shape and confidence. The deep one that would have come back on the man downfield, and in that skinny post, you got to make that play.
Homer turned back at the 44. That's a gain of 4. Brings up a 3rd down and 6 as we will go inside of a minute to go in the first quarter.
And this front 7 is where Syracuse is different than the Syracuse team we saw last year against Notre Dame get gashed and lose 8 games and just physically up front. They were nowhere near this size and stature. You see Slayton there, a couple JUCO defensive ends, your senior linebackers. They're good against the run.
Miami goes empty on 3rd down and 6. Only a 3-man rush. Rozier, blown coverage. Christopher Herndon takes advantage to the 21-yard line of Syracuse. Only a 3-man rush, and they totally lost track of Herndon.
Yeah, this is a bust, and Herndon's a tight end, and the safety over the top here just loses him. Just eyes into the backfield, and look at the eye discipline or the lack thereof. He has got to stay out over the top. Don't expect the 240-pound tight end to run right by him, and he does just that.
That's Evan Foster, the strong safety. That missed the coverage, 1st and 10. Rozier, quarterback draw. Slides inside the 15. That might take us down to the end of the first quarter, unless Miami hurries to get a snap off before the end of the quarter. Rozier set to go with 3 seconds on the clock.
Big receiver.
And that will end the quarter. Miami looking to stretch their lead when we return to start the second. Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by PlayStation View. Set for the start of the second quarter. Bob Wischusen, Brock Ewart, Allison Williams. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Miami Gardens to be exact. The Canes, over 9 minutes they had the football in the first quarter. And they are in position in the red zone to start the second quarter, 2nd down and 4. Screen to Herndon. Close to a 1st down. And it looks like he has it. It will be a 1st down just inside the 11.
They're as good at that bubble screen as anybody in college football. And I think part of the reason is you've got some different guys catching it. That's a big tight end. Barrios is your little shifty guy. You've got running backs that'll get into empty, like Homer to the bottom of the screen. And if you give space, that's just like an outside toss sweep. They've really taken advantage of this season.
Rozier over the middle. Into the end zone goes Herndon. He's been the workhorse so far, and he's got a Miami touchdown.
We're talking eye discipline on this drive. We saw it with the safety on the big play, and that time it was the senior middle linebacker, Zaire Franklin, who just has his eyes into that backfield. And when you do that and you allow Herndon to cross your face, Mark Richt knows that is a simple game of pitch and catch. Herndon's a difference maker. I think both these teams have good tight ends. They have a shot to play at the next level. And Njoku got all the attention last year. Herndon started 13 games. Third leading receiver this year. That is a weapon for a young quarterback.
It all started when Eric Dungey threw one down the sideline, and Michael Jackson, his second opportunity this season to wear that turnover chain over on the Hurricane sideline. Malik Rozier, touchdown pass number 13, extends it to a 10-point lead. Well, the first time that Miami got down inside the 10-yard line, actually down to the 1, Syracuse got a stop and forced a field goal. But they couldn't keep the Canes out of the end zone that time. And now a squib kick is taken by Chris Elmore. And good field position for Syracuse out close to their own 40-yard line. A handoff here to Dante Strickland. He picks up 2 yards. And Dante Strickland, when he was in 8th grade back in New Jersey, his dad lost his job. His family moved into a Best Western on Route 1 in New Jersey, and he lived in that Best Western along with 4 other siblings for the rest of high school. Syracuse offered him, and he couldn't fill out the forms because he didn't have a home address. But his dad, 3 years later, found work, and it's a whole different family situation now. On the slant, knocked away from Irvin Phillips. Good hands by the true freshman, Trajan Bandy.
Yeah, that's a big-time play out of a true freshman. You're talking a senior, third-leading receiver in college football. Now, knew the thought process coming into this drive. You got a quarterback that's thrown a couple picks. You've got to settle him down. Early run, get back to your go-to guys. Just trying to throw a little pitch and catch slant. And indicative of that first quarter, Miami has just been a step ahead defensively.
Eric Dungey with 2 interceptions and 1 completion on 3rd down here. Lofts one down the sideline. May have thrown another pick. It is an interception by Jaquan Johnson. And they'll get the turnover chain out again. Here it comes.
I think Johnson's hands are under this the entire way. I don't see any movement, and I see a 3rd critical turnover here for the Qs.
And Eric Dungey right now is just not seeing it for Syracuse at all. So Malik Rozier back to work. 5-man rush. Checks one down to Travis Homer. He is hard to bring down.
Anybody who's played the position knows there's times it can just be a blur, and this is simple, Bob. This is just a little slant route with a wheel, and look at it. Look how open this is going to become. I mean, everything is right in front of you here. It's just right here. I mean, just everything you want is right here. It's right in front of you. That is as easy as it gets, and instead you're throwing into 3 guys. Eric Dungey right now, this game is moving too fast for him. He has got to slow down and trust his reads.
Braxton Berrios comes back, makes a man miss, spins to midfield. Another Canes first down.
Yeah, and he wondered if this would be about Syracuse and their energy and their emotion. They spent so much a week ago against Clemson. So did Miami, though, in a last-second win in this building. This is not about emotion and energy. This is about execution, and it's pinpoint from Rozier, who is getting it going and distributing to everybody. And the Syracuse team and Dungey that is trying to force the issue instead of take what's there.
Delayed blitz. Easy pitch and catch from Han Richards. Hurdles a man. Inside the 30. A gain of 21.
And Amon is saying, finally, a couple went through my hands. QB put it right in my belly, and that's why I'm a freak, man. That is why I shattered records last year. That is why I'm the guy that scares everybody on that other side, including You know, Coach Ward, the D coordinator for Syracuse.
And now they need their defense to bow up on first down and 10 for Miami. Seam route, wide open and dropped again by Amon Richards. It's his 4th drop here in the first half.
Yeah, 12 of 17 now for Rozier, and that is 4 drops. I mean, no doubters. And that early pressure showed Rozier very quickly it was going to be a single high man-to-man look there. And you're going to see Richards get right into that zone. There's actually a zone, a blitz zone there. This is what happens when you don't practice. Right? I mean, when you miss some practice, it's not his fault with the hamstring, but this is really emblematic of a guy that's not been at full speed. And man, that guy can go, but he's got to finish.
Swing pass. Again, it's the tight end, Christopher Herndon. Thrown down by Paris Bennett. About 2 yards shy of the first down. So a big 3rd down coming, 3rd and 2 just outside the 20.
And this is enormous for Syracuse defensively.
And they get the stop. The interior defensive line does the job, led by all 320 pounds of Caden Samuels. He gets some help from Chris Slayton as well. That is about 630 pounds of defensive tackle that just did the job for the Orange.
And that was a have-to early in this game. Well, these guys have played a ton of snaps. As much as Syracuse loves to focus on time of possession and outlasting their opponents, it's been Miami who has controlled this game and controlled possession.
39-yard field goal attempt on a sloppy field. Raining on and off for the last couple of days here in Miami. But Michael Badgley makes it look easy. He kicked one in the soup last week to win the game over Georgia Tech, and he's 2 for 2 today. And Eric Dungey needs to have amnesia. Brock, not that you ever had a bad game.
Oh, right.
But was there ever a moment where the quarterback, you're sitting on the sideline by yourself knowing you have to flip it in the body of the game?
Snap and clear, man.
Through the back of the end zone. Little flip out to the flat. Ishmael picks up 7 yards. Malik Young tripped him up. And later on tonight, ABC 7:30. Saquon Barkley at Penn State, a whiteout at Beaver Stadium as they will take on Michigan. Of course, last season, Michigan was the team that kept Penn State out of the college football playoff. As Mo Neal's Submarines looking for a first down, and he's got it. And really, when you came down to the debate in that committee room last year, Brock, as Penn State won their division, gets to the Big Ten championship game, wins it.
And this defensive line is looking like their predecessors of the past, playing awfully well as well.
Empty backfield with Mo Neal in motion. 4-man rush. Dungey pulls it down, throws it away. R.J. McIntosh all over him. He was outside the tackle box, but did he get the ball back to the line of scrimmage?
Here's that inside line stunt. They ran this earlier, and they had a run go right between that stunt. Not this time. Once again, get in on those shoulders and edges. One of the things I think I really learned yesterday, surface area, even for big guys, man, do not allow those linemen to target, you know, a 300-pound frame. Get as skinny as you can. Excellent on the stunt there inside.
Dungey up the seam, wide open. Irvin Phillips, he's got a first down. On 3rd and 25, they leave Irvin Phillips alone. And Syracuse makes Miami pay.
Well, they had a safety over the top of Ishmael, but they didn't have anybody covering the slot.
Toss to Dante Strickland. That could be a game changer for Syracuse. Now they need points. Up the middle goes Strickland. Into the secondary. Spins inside the 20. Down to the 16-yard line.
And you're starting to see the rhythm and tempo. And be careful. It could be just one play. A busted coverage sometimes. And a quarterback that is struggling to get in confidence going can in a hurry.
Play action for Dungey. Rolling out. Has to throw it away.
Feels choppy, doesn't it? That whole situation and arrangement there. And the timeout, does a timeout come back on the board? I know that's some of the discussion right now being had. That play ever happened? And if you're Dino Babers, you're frustrated saying, I'm a tempo team, I'm a rhythm team. Okay, if you're going to make that call and you're going to come down to review, then make that call. This team is based on speed and tempo and timing.
Dungey on a keeper. Inside the 5. Demetrius Jackson helped to drag him down, and now again some pushing and shoving after the play is over. It'll be 3rd down, or rather, see where they mark the football. At about the 5-yard line, yes. 3rd down and goal.
That's pretty good quickness and speed on that defensive line. Jackson in particular, 250 pounds, reading the inside run. Fast enough to drag down the quarterback. Huge play for Syracuse offense, struggles in the red zone.
Dungey lobs one to the front pylon. Incomplete, Ishmael. It looked like he wasn't able to survive all the way through the contact to the ground with Malik Young there in coverage, and Ishmael is shaken up. He had a chance to haul it in. He got a foot down, but you have to complete the process of the catch, and you have to survive that contact to the ground. Ladnet, it's 13-0 Miami here. 4th down and goal at the 5. And Dino Babers predictably sends Cole Murphy out to try and get his team on the board. Tough one for Syracuse to get into a goal-to-go situation and have to settle for 3. Murphy is 12 for 14 this season. This one from only 22 yards. So the Canes get a red zone stop on defense. Syracuse is on the board, and the Miami lead is now 10. And it is now indeed halftime as we go back to the studio. You know what's necessary? To hear from Adnan, Joey, and Jesse. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Number 8 Miami at home against Syracuse. 4 first-half takeaways. 2 interceptions by that man. Eric Dungey threw a pair. Jackson took 2 away. That turnover chain worn a bunch on that U sideline in the first half. Bob Wischusen, Brock Ewart, Allison Williams down on the field. Miami, they are looking like a team, especially defensively, with the way they're taking the ball away, that should be in the conversation maybe for the college football playoff all the way through the season, and yet you still think Syracuse is dangerous in the second half.
Well, if this were last year or 2 years ago, the Syracuse teams that we broadcast, this game's 35-3. I mean, the fact that they can play some defense now, they balance the game out a little bit, and if you're Eric Dungey, you're looking up at the board like, man, I've never played a worse half of my life. Way back when in Lake Oswego, Oregon, I don't think I ever threw 4 touchdowns or interceptions in a half, and I find myself down just 10 points. I'm in halftime if I'm Eric, and I'm telling every one of those defensive guys, hey, go get me a 3 and out. You guys were unbelievable that first half. You've given me a shot here in this second half. Go get a 3 and out. Let me turn this thing around.
This one returnable to start the third quarter for Jeff Thomas, and he can fly if he gets a lane. Met, though, at the 26-yard line. Let's go down to Allison.
Guys, watching Eric Dungey in that first half, he was obviously frustrated. So I asked head coach Dino Babers, what do you tell your quarterback? And Brock, to your point, it was just that. He said, we had the 4 turnovers, we gave them 12 points, and we're only down 10 on the road against a top 10 team. We're going to be fine, but they have to figure some things out offensively. He said his guys just need to settle down, find a way to run the ball, and then see if they can get some plays against the man coverage.
Conversely, though, you can make the point that if it were not for several dropped passes, 4 that we counted in the first half by Miami, this could be a 24-3 game. The only thing that slowed down the U in the first half at times were themselves, and they'll start the second half on the ground. Our keeper for Rozier as he gets to the 30-yard line, brought down by Brandon Berry, so a gain of 3.
And just 47 yards on the ground as well. I mean, that is the component. Almost 200 passing there in the first half. Dynamic in that phase. 8 receptions for your tight end, but trying to get a little bit more of that run game. I think that will be the story for the Hurricanes in the second half of the season.
Zone read. Homer breaks a tackle, and he's got a first down out to the 39-yard line. And talking about the takeaways in the first half, credit to Miami as well. Not only did they take the ball away, but they never give it away. They have lost the ball 3 times this season. Now 4 with that 1 giveaway in the first half on the bang-bang play. Same play, different side of the field. Brought down after a gain of maybe a yard. Jonathan Thomas came up to make the stop.
.6'4", 252. He'll play at the next level. That league covets guys like that with that kind of skill set. First rounder a season ago. Obviously the attention, the higher upside for Njoku, but Herndon's a good one.
The rush comes through. Rozier hit as he throws, hoists it down the sideline, and Berrios laid out and could not make the catch. Boy, Rozier got hit hard. Alton Robinson got through and hit Rozier just as he let go of the football.
And he knows it's coming. This is a line stunt, and you feel this. Eyes are down the field, but you feel that entire way breathing down on you, and he puts it in a perfect spot. He puts it in the spot that Berrios has to make that play. We said 4 drops in the first half. I mean, those are bona fide drops, not difficult catches. And that one is full speed, and Berrios does extend, but that's a play the senior can and will make.
3rd down and 9. Can Syracuse get another stop on 3rd down? They rush only 3. Delayed blitz. Rozier pump fake, and he's going to go down at the 45-yard line. Chris Slayton and Jonathan Thomas sandwich him after a gain of a couple, and it will be Zach Fiegels on to punt.
No, and you're right. I mean, 13-3, and I credit a lot of the Syracuse defense, but there's some self-inflicted mistakes there. And it's not Rozier. He has been pinpoint with his passing. It's been the guys on the other side. Richards with a number of drops. I know Berrios could make that play.
Rozier now 19 of 28, 210 yards and a touchdown. How much better would his numbers look if Miami caught the football? Fair catch at the 8 for Sean Riley. Slant route, 1st down, catch made by Irvin Phillips. And Allison, looks like Steve Ishmael's back on the field for Syracuse.
He is, and he was running on the sideline since they came out at the half, trying to give it a go. You know this game means so much to him. He is from North Miami Beach. His parents are watching him play in a college game for the first time. So he wanted to get back out there and able to here in the 2nd half.
And Dante Strickland with a 12-yard carry. So Steve Ishmael, who began the season with 5 consecutive 100-yard games, #1 in the country in catches through the first 7 weeks of the season. So about as valuable a weapon as Syracuse has, back on the field playing in front of mom and dad in person for the first time. Dungey with a fake, tried to slip one out to the edge, and that was well read by R.J. McIntosh. It'll be 2nd and 10.
He has a feel for the game, doesn't he? We watched him yesterday an awful lot with the defensive line coach and watched him as a 3 technique, and this time he's dropping out as RJ. He almost had that turnover chain. That might have been a pick 6. This place would have gone nuts. Yeah, he could have put the necklace on. He's a difference maker up front.
Strickland has a step inside the 40, down to the Miami 38-yard line. Jaquan Johnson made the stop, but 27 more for Dante Strickland. Neal on the toss, gets to the edge. He's got 5 more. Out of bounds at the Miami 23-yard line, pushed out by Redwine.
You know, the most remarkable number in preparation and study for this was actually what the Syracuse coaches said to us yesterday. 160 plays in team periods on Wednesday, cranking out that many number of plays to run at the tempo and the pace they want to.
Dungey, rhythm slant, and it's broken up at the line by Redwine. And he almost caught his own carry.
They love that little inside slant. You attract the linebackers, but you got to try to manipulate that alley player. That time the safety Redwine reading the eyes of the quarterback. Better play by the safety. And trying to find a passing lane.
Another 3rd down for the Orange. They're 5 for 13.
Ishmael and Phillips. Ishmael and Phillips. Those are the difference makers in these situations.
Looking for Ishmael down the sideline. Out of bounds. Malik Young, perfect coverage for the Canes, and now it's 4th down and 5. Would Dino Babers go for it here inside field goal range?
I like my kicker. I'm getting the 3 and making this a 1-score game, and you can see the double move, no bite. You just can't cover better than that. These guys on the outside are going to be tested today. Young and Jackson, they have held up to the challenge.
If Ishmael had fought to stay inbounds there, you think he would have gotten a flag?
Possibly. That was very poor the initial route advantage DB.
40 yards away for Cole Murphy to try and make it a one-possession game. He's got it. Cole Murphy. He slipped a bit on a tough field to kick on and still was able to get it through. Big fist bump too, he knew it. And now we've got a one-possession game again with 8:55 to go in the third quarter. Bob Wischusen, Brock Ewert, Allison Williams here at Hard Rock Stadium. Returnable for Jeff Thomas from the goal line. Stays in bounds and squeezes out about 4 or 5 more yards. And Lee Corso put the Nittany Lion hat on this morning. He put on the lion head as Rozier drops back. Wide open check down to Deontay Mullins. Easy pitch and catch. That had to be a coverage bust for Syracuse as they pick up 22 yards and a first down.
That's just progression rating. That is just taking care of the football and some tremendous protection against the pressure.
Miami ranked 8th. And they have the second longest win streak active right now in college football. Rozier back to throw, and he's going to loft one to the sideline. So it is going to be second down and 10. Only South Florida with an 11-game win streak, a longer current win streak than the Canes, as their 10-game win streak stretches back to last season. Homer, 5 yards shy of the first down. They cross the 50 again, but it's third down.
Yeah, for the 7th time now, but it's been the run defense of Syracuse in a bunch of these moments. Rose up to the occasion there on the goal line, back-to-back snaps. And it's just a little bit of what Mark Richt is talking about. Imposing your will, the ability to just line up with your top 10 team or a national title contender team. You have got to be willing when you want to run it, especially against numbers, and they have not been able to do that against the Qs today.
Here comes the blitz. Rozier wide open up the seam. He's got the freshman, Jeff Thomas, into the end zone. That's a Canes touchdown.
#1 recruit in this class can flat out fly, and you were just wondering when was going to be the opportunity, and it was right there. It was right at the beginning. Look at the first step. Look at the release. Look at the acceleration as he runs right by Syracuse. This kid is unique. We saw it on tape yesterday. You watched it in warm-ups. There is just something different between 4-4 guys and 4-6 guys. And there's that initial acceleration there. No chance for Devin M. Butler, the nickelback, as he's beaten clean off the line.
He was the MVP of that game, and when we were watching Miami's offense on tape, you immediately said, whoa, watch number 4. He just has a different gear than almost anyone on the field.
It's like that guy you golf with. Right, there's those that hit 250, 260-yard drives, and then those that can blast at 300. That kid can blast.
We haven't played together. How'd you know that about him? Knuckleball kick. And this could scoot out of bounds, and it will. So good field position for Syracuse, but down by 2 scores again. Orange starting at their own 35. And they'll start on the ground with Mo Neal. And he picks up 8 yards on first down.
Dino Babers knelt in front of his wide receivers group, pointed to each one and said, I need you to make a play. He said, we'll keep running inside if we have to, but we want to find you guys on the outside. They got to start winning their one-on-ones.
Well, they're going to have a chance on third down now as Mo Neal gets stood up and driven back. So third down and short with Trent Harris and Pat Bethel combining on the tackle.
Yeah, Irvin Phillips, 5 receptions on 12 targets. Steve Ishmael, 3 receptions on 9 targets. And that is with a little bit of a rebuilt and remade secondary for the Hurricanes.
And there's the defensive coordinator, Manny Diaz, who made a homecoming, of course, when he got the job last season. His grandparents fled Cuba to Miami. His dad worked his way through law school. His mom raised the family right here in South Florida. His parents split when he was a child, so when he got the job last year, he actually moved in with his dad for the first time. He had never lived with his father. Called him up, said, "Dad, I need a couch to crash on. I just got hired by UM." And he spent 5 months living with his father. 3rd down and 2. Jet sweep. No, it's a keeper. What a job by Eric Dungey. What a fake. And he's all the way down to the 30-yard line. Bad knee and all.
Yeah, that hamstring or that knee or whatever he was holding behind his leg on that previous possession. You're right, that's called riding the fake, riding that jet sweep. All eyes went to the sweep. He took it.
Pump fake. And now has to throw it away.
That is that eye discipline you'll hear Manny Diaz and every defensive coordinator talk about. You've got to have it. There you saw a little bit of losing focus at the second level of that Miami defense for a rare occasion today. Here is the situation. This is what the head coach was talking to his receivers about, as Allison reported. These are the moments where you have got to win on your slant. You have got to win on your fade. You are going to get some one-on-one coverage. You have got to go out and beat it.
There goes Dungey again. Jumps into a tackler. And he's inside the 15-yard line.
Goodness gracious.
Over the top of Sheldrick Redwine.
You know, back in the day, that used to be illegal. Randy Moss, I was watching his E60 yesterday, and he did that. It was a highlight play the first time that he did it at Marshall, and everybody just takes your breath away. And he said it actually should have been penalized back then, 20-some years ago. It was in the rule book as a penalty to hurdle. Not anymore.
Out on the edge, Mo Neal walks into the end zone. Syracuse responds. That's an orange touchdown. And we've got a one-possession game again. What a response by Syracuse.
And take a look at the poise and the discipline here of Eric Dungey to continue to ride that play fake out. Watch these two defenders here for Miami as the play unfolds, and he's riding that fake, and he's riding that fake, and they freeze. And the minute they hesitate and they freeze, they're dead. You won't see that in any stat sheet or anything. There's a couple occasions there where Dungey may be struggling throwing the ball. More interceptions than he's ever been used to in his career. They got the poise and the patience and the discipline there to continue to do the little things right to help his offense.
The guts of Eric Dungey on that drive, banged up as we saw, holding the back of that knee as we saw, to get the job done on that drive on the ground. And he is the ball carrier on several big plays. This was one of the biggest.
Who did I used to see do that in WWF?
Well,
I mean,
not you.
huh? No.
On a football field?
My goodness.
No one with the last name Heward. From a yard deep, Jeff Thomas brings it out. Flag down. And he is knocked out of bounds at about the 22. Miami backed up now. But they start off the drive with a quick hitch to Amon Richards. Out to the 17-yard line. That's a gain of 6.
Just about every game these two teams have played have been just like this. One possession, darn close to it, into the fourth quarter kind of games, and who's got the wherewithal to win it.
3rd down once again coming for Miami. It'll be 3rd down and 2 as Homer gets driven back. Well, remember, the last time that Syracuse actually beat Miami, back in 1998, it was anything but this type of game. Donovan McNabb had 2 touchdown passes, ran for 3 more, and the Orange won 66-13. They have come close since against Miami, but have not won since then.
I think they're going to take this. Rick is down on the sidelines. That last play, a little bit indicative here of why this is close. 2nd down and 5. Second, you're just not getting much in your run game. And credit to Zaire Franklin, the rest of that front 7 for Syracuse defensively that have kept this a 1-score game.
7-point lead for Miami, and they'll have a big 3rd down and short when we start the 4th quarter. Fascinating game as we head to the 4th quarter and the final 15 minutes. No team in college football has owned the last 15 minutes so far this season more than the U.
And the heat, humidity, this should be your game. So what you practice in, this was the advantage for decades with all that talent that came through this program. And Mark Richt's doing it. I mean, it's pretty remarkable what he has done here in his 18 games. A scoring differential of 345 to 148 in the second half. They're undefeated in their 8th America because of what they've done in these final 15 minutes.
Well, they came from 24-16 down last week in the fourth quarter to win. Third down play to start the fourth quarter this week. Fumbled snap. Rozier maintains his composure, takes a shot down the field. Through the hands of Richards, but a flag comes out. Christopher Frederick. Can't believe it. How about the composure for the redshirt junior, Malik Rozier?
I don't like this call. At least on first glance, and there's going to be a conversation here.
Let's see if they pick the flag up. This is a huge moment in this game.
There's no foul for pass interference. It'll be fourth down.
And good on you. That's what officiating should be. Did you get a good look at this? Did I get a good look at this? There's some contact there. I think he's stumbling. He's falling to the ground. He's trying to come back to an underthrown football. That is not. It's not pass interference. That's the right call. Even if it's not right initially. Get it right, especially in these moments in a game of this magnitude.
I think the crowd agreed. The sense I got in the building after they picked the flag up was good on the officials.
Right.
Right there with you, Brock Ewart. So now Zach Fiegels to kick from inside his own 10-yard line. A chance for Syracuse to get field position back. Fair catch called for at the 45-yard line for Sean Riley. Great field position for Syracuse.
This is where Dino Babers feels advantage Syracuse.
Toss to Strickland. Runs a man over. Boy, the sideline loves that. Look at the Syracuse sideline react to Dante Strickland. Only about a 2-yard gain, but he ran a man over on his way out of bounds.
Dino will cite championship game last year with the greatest defense college football knew in Alabama. And look what plays 75 to 99 against Clemson look like.
Play action for Dungey. Under pressure. Extending the play. Needs help from someone. And instead he'll do it himself. Down the sideline, close to a first down. He stepped out right at the line to gain. And without measurement, the officials say that's a first down run.
He is in phenomenal shape, too. And, you know, the biggest area is look at these Syracuse offensive linemen. Those are the guys, to me, that were typically the most gassed when he did 2-minute drills, and they don't get gassed.
5-man rush over the middle. Ishmael's got it. First down, Syracuse. Quarterback keeper again. Dungey bypassed the wide receiver screen and may have gotten to the line of scrimmage. Michael Pinckney made the stop.
I mean, how sore is he going to be tomorrow and on this flight home from South Florida to upstate New York? And that's a perfect situation. That's a little bubble screen. There's nowhere else to go with the ball. I mean, he could, I guess, throw it away, but he's trying to even get that yard or two and everything he's got.
Phillips, jet sweep, breaks a tackle. Out of bounds, close to the 10-yard line. All the momentum right now for Syracuse as that target of plays where you think the game is going to turn. But they look like the faster team right now, like the exact effect they were hoping that play count would have. It's having. Low snap. Dungey, broken play, and he's going to lose yardage. Back inside the 15-yard line. Demetrius Jackson made the stop.
Syracuse told us snap 80 is the breaking point for teams. They feel like it is from this point on that their conditioning really comes into their advantage.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Second down and goal now, but back near the 15. Another low snap. Dungey, he's going to go down again. And now the Canes rise up. Trent Harris gets the sack.
And now look at the wave of all new bodies in Miami Hurricanes. You can see some of his frustration. That's back-to-back snaps that had been grounded back to him. Maybe a little conversation with Aaron Service, the center there, to say, hey, man, you got to get me this snap in this predicament.
third down and goal after the Syracuse timeout, a timeout that they may need later on. Are they going to throw the ball in the end zone for the 24-yard line, or will they protect the field goal and try and draw that much closer?
Well, you got a single safety, and you've got Ishmael and Phillips to the bottom of the screen, set up for the little vertical concept.
Backwards pass. Irvin Phillips throws it back to Dungey. He's got it, and he's going to go down. And they'll lose some yards on the trick play on third down and goal from the 24-yard line. Joe Jackson stayed home and brought down Eric Dungey.
Yeah, I'm going to scratch that one out of my playbook, too. That is a long throw. That's almost it's 53 yards across the field. So you're talking about a 40-yard throw for your wide receiver. Back across the field takes way too long against that group defensively.
And now a 45-yard field goal. Cole Murphy keeps his footing this time and knocks it right down the middle. It's a 4-point lead for Miami. Under 10 minutes to go. That's a long day for a quarterback. It was really nice of Brock Ewert, while the rest of us were watching tape and having coaches meetings yesterday, to take a camera down to South Beach and get some pictures that we could roll in on our broadcast. Thank you for that.
Yeah, right. This is memory, stroll down memory lane for you. You and Shambi living down here as roommates way back when.
We did spend some quality time together down here. That's Brock Ewert. I'm Bob Wischusen. Allison Williams, the only innocent member of our crew. Down on the field, Jeff Thomas from inside the 1. Breaks a tackle. He's got a different gear if he can turn the corner. Really good field position for Miami. A long return, but he gets out to the 34-yard line. And Miami hold on and win another close game. They're trying against Syracuse, and they'll start this drive on the ground. And a gain of a couple. Travis Homer brought down at the 36.
And you can hear the hometown faithful here. There's a little bit of a groan in that run game, just running into humanity. There just had not been many creases between the tackles today, and that's a real credit to Bennett and Franklin and a gritty front seven, an offensive line that's a work in progress. And to me, where is the tight end? Where has Christopher Herndon gone? Was such a weapon for you in that first half with 8 receptions up and down the field. Got to find him.
Rozier makes a man miss in the backfield. Throws, and he's got a hookup. Richards, first down and a big play inside the Syracuse 40-yard line. Great throw on the run by Malik Rozier.
Sure is, and when the moment has gotten big, that's been the single most impressive thing with Malik. And they've been fourth quarter heroics, final drives, Florida State, Georgia Tech. And these moments of truth here, with the game on the line, he has been dynamite.
Quick screen out to Berrios, but out in front of him. So that's a giveaway of a down, second down and 10.
Bob, keep an eye on Amon Richards. He got his ankle taped up a little bit ago, and you can see him. He's kind of hobbling right now. Looks like he's in some pain. He's trying to play through it, but he definitely does not look 100%.
He's got the hamstring he's dealing with as well, so that's a couple of bad wheels for Amon Richards. He missed last week's game against Georgia Tech, the first 2 games of the year with a hamstring injury. They're a different looking offense when he's on the field. He's playing through it now. Three-man rush on second down. Screen, but Syracuse was waiting for it. Right into 8 men dropping back in coverage. The screen to Richards. Christopher Frederick brought him down. It'll be third down and long.
Richards coming off the field like many guys today. Bumps, bruises, a lot of sore bodies, lots of snaps, but an awfully big third down.
Well, replaced by Darrell Langham, who barely has played today, but he had the 2 biggest catches of the last 2 wins for Miami. Rozier under some pressure, flushed out. He's going to try and run for it, and gets tripped up. Chris Slayton saved what would have been a scramble for a first down, and now what does Miami do? 4th down and about 3, and maybe not on this field in field goal range yet. Michael Badgley has never missed from between 40 and 49 yards. This would be just under 50 yards. But this field has taken a lot of rain. It's been tough footing for kickers, and so Mark Richt bypassing. What do you think, Brock? Going forward,
and going empty here. No run pass option. They just be trying to draw him offside. Nope.
They'll snap it. Here comes a blitz. Rozier over the middle. Is the catch made? The officials say no. Darrell Langham couldn't haul it in before it hit the ground. And Syracuse gets the turnover on downs.
Yeah, that's on the ground. And I will tell you, first of all, Badgley's perfect, but they made a decision, maybe because of the field conditions, they're not going to push it to above 45 yards on a field goal. Okay. Then I've got to get to a run pass option. I've got to do something, and I'm not going to keep Rozier just in the pocket right there and try to be perfect in the pocket. I want to allow him to move and utilize his legs a little bit. No Richards puts the hero of the last 2 weeks on the field, but the low throw, the incompletion, now gives Syracuse the ball, an opportunity to drive down and take the lead.
Both teams have used a timeout already in the fourth quarter. We'll see how that comes into play. Low snap for Dungey. And diving forward, maybe losing his footing, unable to get started, was Mo Neal. He lost a yard.
You can see those plays now, 98-99 the last couple weeks, and the big upset over Clemson a week ago. This is the territory. This is where Dino Babers, this is why they do everything within their program to be a volume up-tempo system.
Dungey wanted to take a shot downfield. It wasn't there, and now he'll run. He'll break a tackle. He gets a block. Dungey in the open field. Leaps over another defender and gets knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line of Miami. He took on Michael Jackson, and Jackson was able to get him down.
Man, that's just his go-to move in the video game world, is the flying knee kick. I mean, typically you do that when you're reacting to a low tackle and anticipating that. But how about the enormous play for Dungey? He's not doing with his arms this afternoon. It's his legs.
A pass. At least that seemed to be where Butler wanted to go, and now he's breaking tackles. To the 30-yard line. It was another trick play dialed up, or seemingly so, by Dino Babers, and it picks up 7 on first down.
Look at the hands on the hips of those defensive linemen for Miami.
Up tempo. Met in the backfield is Mo Neal. Nowhere to go. Michael Pinckney untouched.
Yeah, but Jamar McGloster, you've got to block him. That is an inside pressure there from Pinckney. You have got to come down in your gap there, right tackle. Those big D linemen may be a little tired, but the linebackers aren't. 3rd down and 8.
4-down territory here for Syracuse?
Yes, as long as this one moves forward, Bob.
Dungey, one-on-one down the sideline, incomplete. And now the decision for Dino Babers. He's got 2 timeouts, 5.5 minutes to go. It's probably, again, on this field, too far to try a field goal. What would you do?
Yeah, I think, oof.
4th down and 8.
Yeah, I don't think you can call a timeout. So you have got to make this decision here. And it looks like he's going to trust his kicker to kick from 50+ on this field. 53 yards to try and make it a 1-point game with 5.5 minutes to go. Cole Murphy has made 3 in his career from 50+, but his career long 51. So on this field, a career long, can he do it? It's online with room to spare. Wow. We got ourselves a good one. Wow is right. That's what we're left to say over and over. Not the prettiest game, but one heck of a contest in South Florida.
A 1-point game now in Miami. Jeff Thomas delayed for a moment, now brings it out. And that costs the Canes. He goes down to the 15-yard line. Special teams plays a big role in these games. How about Cole Murphy bouncing back from the slipped plant foot? 2 more field goals, Brock, after this.
And he made that first one, and there was no doubt. Look at the reaction right after he hits it. He's not wasting any time. He knows, and this is a career best 53. There is no doubt about it. That's good from 55 plus easily. Miami turns down the field goal, but their guy that had been perfect in his career, less than 50, Dino Babers, says, no, my senior is going to go for it. He's made this a 1-point game.
5:18 to go. Both teams with 2 timeouts. And Malik Rozier now starts from his own 15-yard line. Rozier to the sideline, incomplete, over the head of Deontay Mullins. It's a big game for both of these programs. Obviously for Miami, trying to get off to a perfect start in the ACC for the first time in school history and stay in the top 10. Syracuse off the win against Clemson last week. They've never had back-to-back top 10 wins. Slant. The freshman Jeff Thomas makes another big catch.
It was a really nice job by Rozier here to manipulate the passing lane. That was a defensive end that was dropping right into it, and you have got to find either before or after that end to throw that tight slant.
Is this now the time where Miami should slow things down offensively?
Yeah, and I think you will see them do some of that.
Milk the play clock. Syracuse with 2 timeouts left, so 3 more first downs could end the game. Rozier, incomplete, looking for Thomas.
You left 11 seconds on that last snap. Now you're not a huddle team. You know, that's part of the situation. Doesn't mean you still can't do it. You just gotta have enough poise. And one thing you gotta be careful of is letting those linemen just sit. Always hated that when they were just sitting, because they're waiting to block, man. They are ready to go. I always felt like there were times when you were in a huddle, you could break at 15, get to the line, and still establish that tempo. A little different with those linemen now sitting up there without a huddle.
They're going to throw it again on 2nd and 10. Rozier over the middle, hauled in by Darrell Langham. He has been the clutch receiver. That's only his 10th catch this season, but it seems like all of his catches come in the most critical moments.
They should probably just keep him in the locker room for the first 3 quarters. The air conditioning, come on out. Because the final 10 is when you show up.
And now Miami snaps it with 25 on the play clock.
Yeah.
You pick up a first down, the clock starts to roll, they run Travis Homer, but when you're snapping it with 25 on the play clock, you are saving Syracuse time.
Yeah, and you should take all of this. All of this.
Let's see how much time comes off the play clock before this snap. They snap it early again. Doesn't matter if you can't bring down Travis Homer, though. He's got a first down. And all this leads up to the whiteout tonight at Beaver Stadium. Saquon Barkley and Penn State against Michigan. 7:30 Eastern on ABC. .22 on the play clock when they snap it this time. Travis Homer, though, picks up 5 yards. Allison.
Bob, senior Braxton Berrios told me games like this feel different this year. He said when it's close and the game is on the line in the final minutes, there is a confidence that we will find a way to win. And Malik Rozier said the same thing. He said we went from hoping and praying we will win to believing we will win.
Karam shot tied up on the play was Harris. Christopher Frederick got a hand in, and a flag comes out.
Pass interference, defense number 3. The ball replaced at the spot of the foul. First down.
And you just got to let go here. And you can see the contact initially, and the big receiver starts it, but you've got to find a way there. If you're Frederick, you just have to let go. Because if you're going to be holding on to those pads, and we see it every week, that is going to be the trigger for those officials to make that call.
See when Dino Babers decides to use his timeouts. Rozier back to throw under pressure. He looked like he wanted to go deep, and now he's going to throw a wobbly one to the sideline. That's almost intercepted by Rodney Williams.
pressure is coming, and these guys on both sides are giving everything, and that's one you got to make. That if you're Syracuse, you are kicking yourself right there. Rodney Williams playing for the nicked up Jordan Martin today, who was playing for the injured Antoine Gordy. So you have worked down the list and you have played your guts out, but finding ways to make plays here at the end. That's what separates the 8th team in America, who has made them in the final minutes. Syracuse, who has not.
Back to the ground. There goes Travis Homer. Touchdown. It's a 7-point lead. Even after the point after, it would only be a 1-possession game, and there's still a lot of time on the clock for Syracuse. But that touchdown run by Homer extends the lead.
And look at the job of your senior left tackle. He blocks 2 here. We call this first one an influence block. That's an influence block on the end. And then he's got to make the block. And that's exactly what Casey McDermott does to free up Homer for the big play. He influences, he's patient, he makes the game-winning block. It won't show up on any stat sheet. But trust me, McDermott was the difference for Homer to find the end zone.
Still only a 1-possession game. Syracuse will have a chance.
And I know what he's thinking in his mind. I got a couple timeouts. I got an eternity with 2:48 on the clock. Score 2-point conversion. We take this thing to overtime. But those teams have started to build that belief. Allison's report from Barrios is right. When the moments get big, do I really believe, or do I hope that we can get it done? Enormous difference.
Short kick. Badgley slipped on the kickoff. So returnable for Riley. Great coverage, though. Brought down at the 21-yard line. But very interesting now to see what Syracuse can do with the football, as there's a lot more time on the clock than there needed to be when Miami kept snapping the ball with 20+ on the play clock. Dungey tries to get it started, and does in stride. It's Butler out across the 40-yard line.
Miami says we are who we are. Manny Diaz brings pressure. Not going to play soft. Not going to play prevent. That was man-to-man coverage. And a nice pitch and catch from Dungey.
Dungey out of the pocket, has to throw it away. Zach McLeod brought him down again.
There's no foul for attention to the ground. The pass went beyond the neutral zone, and the quarterback was outside of the tackle box. 2nd down.
Quarterback draw. Dungey breaks a tackle, reverses field, gets a block. Wow, that's a long run to pick up 4 yards, as finally he was brought down at the 47.
Remember Kellen Winslow in the Orange Bowl? When they carried him off the field, whatever it was, double, triple, quadruple overtime? I guarantee you he didn't play 92 plays. And you're going to see they're going to take another timeout. He's gassed.
So 3rd down and 6. Obviously it's 4-down territory now for Syracuse. Dungey lost his footing, somehow maintains his balance. And it'll be 4th down. Shaq Quarterman brings him down for a sack. A loss of 1.5 yards.
You got to get the right call here. You do have 35 seconds to get to the right call, but this is pivotal. And if you feel like you can't, then you've got to use your final timeout.
With the game on the line, the last thing they wanted to do was use their final timeout. But this play determines the outcome of the game. So now they are out of timeouts with 1:38 to go. Where are you looking on 4th and 7?
I've got to end. I've got to get to my best guys right there. Ishmael, Phillips. I've got to go down swinging with my best pitch.
Dungey spins backwards, looking downfield to the sideline. Is it brought in by Phillips? Incomplete. Miami's going to win it.
And they do just that. They run the dash. That's what they call this protection, to get outside the pocket. Great call. Everything is there, and that is a catch that Phillips is going to make.
They short of the first down marker. Victory formation for the Canes, as they will stay undefeated to start off the season.
They sure will, and part of the reason is look at the anticipation or the lack thereof. This is going to be an out route, and you're going to see Dungey come out. He has the opportunity to throw it, and if he throws it right now, throw it now, you've got a shot. You run out of real estate, and you run out of time.
Originally, that route obviously designed to get past the line to gain.
Yep.
But Phillips had to come back to help the quarterback.
I'll tell you what, Dungey's going to be fun to watch the rest of this year and into next year. He has got guts galore, and I'll tell you who matches it is Rozier on the other side. This Miami team that does not flinch, man. They have come so far with Mark Richt in 2 years, 15-4, 11 in a row. The power to believe, but even beyond that, talent in the right spots. They are going to be a tough out.
You can feel it, though, in South Florida. There is a pulse in this city when the Canes are relevant again, and Miami is very relevant again. And how about Manny Diaz? There's some class to head over there as the defensive coordinator and tell that quarterback, you were a tough out today.
You were a warrior. Lots of them on this field today.
Let's head down to Allison.
Well, Coach Richt, this one didn't require a comeback, but it did require your team to step up in the final moments of a game. What has this group shown you when the game is on the line?
Well, when the game's on the line, we do pretty good. When the game's not on the line, like sometime in the middle of the game, it'd be nice to execute a little bit better and not have so much drama at the end of the game. But you know what? Syracuse, as we know, is a very, very good football team. They played great here. Coach Babers is doing an awesome job.
What stood out to you defensively with the injuries you had, the type of system Syracuse likes to run offensively?
Right.
What was required of your defense today?
Well, a lot of man coverage. A lot of guys had to lock up man-to-man and force perfect throws. And that was a big part of the plan. Another part of the plan was just line up. And if you know who you got man-to-man, it's easy to line up. So we just played a lot of man coverage, and the guys lined up. The line pressured well. We got to him sometimes. Sometimes he made plays. A guy looks superhuman sometimes. He's one tough kid.
Mark, thank you for the time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Coach Richt and his team just keep on finding ways. Today, Eric Dungey couldn't get it done for Dino Babers. For Allison Williams and Brock Ewart, I'm Bob Wischusen. So long from Miami Gardens. It's time for LSU and Ole Miss.